I got a fever, and the only prescription is more cowbell. Been a long time since I lost a trade. Ooh, yeah, yeah. Crypto screaming, gotta block and roll, babe. Been a long time since I mined that gold. Hash rate whales, it's a tale untold. Flip the moon, start to scamming lies. While it's stacked, but the FUD still flies. Oh, baby, stake it high, feel the groove. Charts ignite, got the green proof. Bull runs how I'm breaking free. Crypto souls calling me. Block and roll, block and roll. Holding tight, blockchain's my soul. Block and roll, block and roll. Game so wild, I lost control. Been a long time since the dip sank low. All the crash, watch the fire grow. Run, bulls fade, I shake them down. Gas fees low, still I wear the crown. Oh darling, lock that key, hear the call. Whales can't break me, I'm standing tall. Moon's a siren, long road ahead. Crypto's whale keeps me fed. Block and roll, block and roll. Holding tight, blockchain's my soul. Block and roll, block and roll. Game so wild, I've lost control. Since I lost the trade. Crypto screaming, gotta block and roll, babe. Block and roll, block and roll. Alright, dude, that fuck told me.
They say, oh my God, your wallet's on fire. Stacking sats, I'm pumping higher. Ooh, yeah. Grab my trades, my dear, chase the moon so bright. Crypto's got me rocking, dancing through the night. You hooked me deep when I bought that pump. Oh yeah, I'm spinning wild till the bull run jumps. Woo! Pump for me, pump for me, pump for me. Stack those gains, stack those gains. I've never felt a moonshot blaze like this before. Ooh, they say ride it up, I'll dance it all once more. They say move for me, move for me. Ay, ay, ay. Bull runs close, I sway, I'm the play. FOMO's beat won't stop, I'm a pumping star. Crypto hums my groove, dancing near and far. Ooh, you hooked me deep when I bought that pump. Ooh, yeah, I'm spinning wild till the bull run jumps. Ooh, pump for me, pump for me, pump for me. Stack those gains, stack those gains. Go, 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 go. I've never felt a moonshot blaze like this before. Ooh, they say ride it up, I'll dance it all once more. All once more. All once more. Ooh, yeah. Chasing sats till the floor's on fire. Oh, oh, oh. Good for me. Oh, and you'll be.
Ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourself. If this is your first time joining our stream, you might be a little surprised by the appearance of our host.
Sleepless nights and neon dreams, spinning wheels in fast machines, digital gold in pixel streams, rise and fall like
But
cryptic
as
memes.
routine every show, well, you can't give it a go until you hear very well the ringing of the cowbell.
To break or fall apart, number, go up, hold on tight, don't you stop, ride the waves, never
Let's get ready to rumble!
For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I just want to say thank you very much.
Welcome everyone to Late Night Crypto with Rodell. We're taking a look at Bitcoin. Sunday today is not the only day things are going up. Just like our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ has risen from the grave, Bitcoin is also rising from the dead. And it's also, for some of you guys, 420 days. So there's lots of reasons for things to get kind of high today. Just saying. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, somehow this does not sound right in my ears. Let me come over to the chat, make sure everything is going nice and groovy here. Make sure that you guys can hear me. For some reason. Why is that? It sounds different on my side over here. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Glad to have you here. We're going to be taking a look at Bitcoin. We're going to be taking a look at some altcoins tonight, trying to find us some nice juicy setups, because as we talked about, altcoins are starting to look a little juicy right now. Will it stick? Do we have just a little window? We're going to be discussing that here in a short minute of time here. If I can get the chat out, I can say hello to all of you 13 beautiful people hanging out here with me. Got Floki's Angels, who's first. How's it going? Melis Williams, glad to have you here. Says happy Easter, everyone. Happy Easter to you, my friend. Very special day today. Floki's Angels, hey dog. Chris Klein, Chris Klein and I both love your show. He misses everyone. Much love. Where's Chris? What happened to Chris? Let's give you guys a nice little shout out. Thank you for being here. Make sure all of our little buttons work. There we go. The delayed clappy hands. Hey, glad to have you guys here. We got Strega, Joe from Trade Intuition, fellow YouTuber. Go check him out. I don't have it pulled up at the moment. I would flip over there to it. All you got to do is type in Trade Intuition. I got that little stream elements thing going. I don't know if it's programmed in or what, but I need to get those links in. We'll get Joe's link thrown in there. If you're not subscribed to his channel, checking out his channel, you check it out. He may even be going on later tonight. I don't know. Why does my mic sound so freaking funny? Do I need to turn? No, that's too much. Things are sounding a little different on my end. We got Hulan Allegria. We got Ryan K. Strong Short So, how's it going? Jason Hatchlin. Road Glide. Kelly Fat. Glittery Marshmallow 1981. Happy Easter, he is risen, and happy 420 to the D-Gens. Yep. I believe they both can be mutually exclusive and exist at the same moment. This is really getting to me. Why is my... Let me make sure I got everything. No, that's going to throw me off. Nope, can't do that. That's where we had it before. If I turn this up, I can hear it, but that's too much. All right. That's going to clip on me. Trying to get my microphone all set up here, and now it's sounding a little bit better. I can hear myself a little bit better. All right, so Bitcoin, here we are, man. We've been in this range forever. I got it on this one on the 15-minute time frame. I'm over here on COINEX. This is the one that I've been watching for, well, what seems like forever. So since the 12th, so for about the past dang near almost 2 weeks, it seems like a good week, we've been just traveling within this little range, and there's not been very much give and take there. At the very most, 3%, right? 83,000 something, that maybe 86, 80, yeah, close to 86 there. And now we finally broke out of it. Now, I was watching this trend line and she broke it and I was like, oh wow, oh no. And some people, I think, took that as a very bearish sign. I was watching some other angles here too, but these weren't really solid trend lines here. But I was watching the short term over here. But it didn't freak me out. It didn't freak me out. I was kind of like, okay, well, we can do this guy. And I was looking more for the channel idea, but she did break that and technically. But when she started coming back up and trying to get back in, I was looking for a possible bearish retest, but the indicators were looking a little bullish. Anyway, long story short, we did get back above that, and then that was a nice rise, and we got out of this level. I think the thing that I would notice that you see that we kept coming back within this range. All within this range, and then this pullback we didn't. Now if we pulled our Fibonacci, you would probably see a nice little bounce there right around the 618er, as Jason Casper calls it, right there about 84,000. And then we broke out. Although we broke out, 'tis all she wrote. And working on a higher high, and I ain't mad about that at all. We're coming right up to our area right here. Now I've got about 87,007 that we just haven't quite got there yet. Right there in that neck of the woods, but we should be getting a pullback from this just to come back, and we'll probably come back to retest this area right here around 86. So I wouldn't get too excited. Oh no, I missed it. They're pumping us on the Sunday. It's never going back down, because that's exactly what they want you to think, and they want you to get your money and put it out there and chase those red candles, chase these green candles. And if you do that, if you fall for that little game, because that's what the voices in your head, or that little feeling inside, I gotta get in, I'm missing it. You start chasing or adding to your position, and then come Monday or Tuesday, when maybe we do get up there, and they come crashing back down. Oh, and then you go from being in a winning trade or winning position to being, oh man, I wish I wouldn't have 50x on that, man, because now I'm down like almost 70%. So we don't want to get in those kind of situations, especially if you get doing that leverage trading, which a lot of people are. It seems to be the big thing that makes the exchanges money and takes money out of our pocket, put it in their pockets more often than not. The people that are really winning this game are really playing a slow game, I believe. Oh, that's better. I can hear myself better now. How's it going, everybody? Glad to have you here. We're going to be taking a look here at the indices, and you can see that altcoins are finally starting to have some green candles here, and we've been watching that idea and everything. Now, I'm not 100% sold on this one whatsoever. I'm skeptical, but I do think we can get a nice little move up, but I don't think it'll stick. We do have to get past this little orange line here, and that's a big one. That's a major one. Now, it'd probably look better if we come over here to total 3 on a bigger chart, and I'll do that quickly. But right here, right below it is Bitcoin dominance. Now that's the one to watch. Now it was cool when we were getting rejected over here, right behind. Oh, you can't see her behind the doll's head. The lady in red there dancing. When we were bouncing down, that's cool. Now Bitcoin dominance. This is daily, starting to get a little spike up. Now that doesn't always work well with altcoins, but they've been doing pretty good today. You can't bitch about that. Some of them got up enough, about 4%. So it's a little mixed bag. Some are popping off, some are not. Tau's doing really good. Tau got up to $338 there, from being down around 220 or something. That's a pretty good come up right there. So let's come over here and let's take a look quickly at total 3, because that represents our altcoins. Zoom out just a wee bit here, if you don't mind, because this is what's important, what we've been looking for and watching for. Now, there is a little bit of an uptipping in volume there, so I kind of like that. And this is technically a breakout of a falling wedge, if you want to look at it that way. Definitely, you've got a trend line that's has been breached, and we got candle bodies clearance above the 9 moving average, which is what we look for here on this channel for a nice positive confirmation. And we've also got a little trend line, if we just draw it here, that is respected. So taking all 3 of those things together there, it looks nice and juicy that we can get a nice little come up, and we can see some areas that we haven't seen in about a week or so. So this coming week might still be good, but there's still a lot of resistance to be coming down altcoins. So How should we play this coming week? If you ask me, ladies and gentlemen, they might slam us down come tomorrow or Tuesday. That could definitely happen. Or the other side, maybe we do have a little bit more momentum and that we can get about another 35-40 billion dollars coming into this market. Take us right up here to this area. Not quite yet the higher high that we need for altcoins to really put us into a, yeah, baby, we're starting to look good. Now, maybe we can do something like that. This would be the ideal move that I'd be looking for. We knock out this high over here, make a higher high, come up to about our 1.113. And then we can come down, probably respect this trend, a good chance to still respect this trend line if we ever do something like that. Come down a little bit and then see what that, or maybe we could even come down lower, man. Who knows? We have to take it in and see what happens at the time, but that's a good chance. That would be cool too. But getting past the $780 billion area, that's the immediate thing we got to keep an eye on, because we could easily just roll back over here and do something crazy. However, things are looking kind of nice. Let's take a look at our weekly here on Total 3. And by the weekly, I mean the indicators mostly. Looking at Market Cipher, we got the green dot right here on Market Cipher on the weekly, and that's nothing to sneeze at. Now, money flow is still in the green, but she has been flowing down, so she'll need to start ebbing back up. And if you ask me what the most important thing on this indicator is, actually is this money flow thing. That seems to be the best indication for how bullish and how bearish the price action is. And she drained down low with her altcoins, but she didn't go red here on the weekly. Now, everything else is starting to point to the upside. All these indicators on the weekly, stochastic bands are putting up. This VWAP is what they call VWAP, going up. Everything here looks nice and like you want to get something done. The MACD on the weekly, remember, this is the one that we should have paid attention to over here, and we could have avoided going through a lot of this drawdown crap. Now she's starting to turn around a little bit, not yet giving us the signals that we're looking for, because she's much more of a lagging indicator. It'll take her a minute, but when she does, we want to make sure that we got our bags packed and ready to go, baby, because things going to be interesting when that happens. So weekly looks very interesting to me as far as Total 3, and then now it's starting to, we were looking at the Ichimoku cloud, and she's been bullish forever. She says, I'm bullish. I don't care what you say, I'm bullish. She's been bullish, but it's just been price action saying, you sure? You sure? Because I'm kind of scared. If any of that made sense to you guys. Here on the weekly, we bounced off this 50 moving average area. We reclaimed it. We dropped below it, don't get me wrong, but we reclaimed it, and that's a strong indicator right there. Things are looking pretty juicy for altcoins, but it's a little bit of a slow start, and there is still a lot of stuff to make up. So we at the very best, what the weekly chart is telling me we're probably doing is going to be doing some kind of little rangy thing through here. So we will get more chances to buy altcoins cheap or cheaper. Hopefully not cheaper, but still cheap on a retest when we come back after we get rejected at these areas. So let's don't get our panties in the wad. If I missed out on everything. No, trust me, you still got a chance. There will be some more revisitations of some of these areas if you missed out on something. The best thing I think is to prepare to get that powder for when it comes back down. Here we are on the 3-day, and I like the 3-day because it's kind of like a hump day, midday, midweek kind of thing. Every 3 days we get a new candle here, and now we're getting ready to get a nice bullish cross on the MACD, who is a little bit behind the times when it comes to this. Remember, she's a bit late to the party, but she brings the best booze. I'm just saying. And it's Easter too, honey. For a day after Easter, is that what you're saying? 421, whatever, Aunt MACD. She gets kind of out there. So I caught a lot of that. That's kind of cool. We've not quite regained our 9. Have you? Have you regained your 9 movement? Not officially, but got prices above the 9 movement average at the moment. That's a good start. It's a good start here on this one. Work our way down to the daily here, because it's just what we do now. The daily is above the 9 movement average, and I think we mentioned that, so that is cool. Next couple of days in altcoins could be very interesting. Very interesting. But do keep in mind, we lost one of our numbers. Put a number back there. Put that number back there. right here. That's 618er. Don't be a 618er hater. You gotta respect the 618s because Rise Action Service Freak does. And that's exactly where we've been getting rejected here on the daily. We see this green, red, and blue lines I've got. That is the 9 moving average, which we're above. The red is the 21. The blue one is the 50. We're kind of sandwiched in between. So the way this strategy idea, that the theory behind this is that, you know, we can bounce off. So if we come up here and get rejected by Mr. 50, more than likely we're going to come back and seek out said 21. And we'll have to flip-flop between there. So there will be up and down. The volatility has not left. You're just seeing a little bit of upside on some of these coins right now. Don't chase. Don't chase. It's like a kitty cat. You got to make it come to you. If you start chasing, it's just going to run away and then scratch you. And then it was still your fault somehow because, I don't know. Cats and women are like that. Oh, that was kind of tight until you lost it. So I'm just going to realign some of these trend lines on these smaller time frames. We have not yet made our higher high, but that is our goal here on the 4 hour. You can see we're getting rejected at 200 moving average. Nice, kind of what I said on the other bigger time frames. You know, we're sandwiched. Here's the 100 down here. Lose the 200, we could be looking at the 100, and we could still be working through this a little bit. It looks nice. It still looks a little choppy, but we're starting to show some signs. Now, just as with Bitcoin and everything else, the thing that I've been preaching on this channel, or what I've been trying to impart and kind of throw out there, especially for you more investor and long-term holder types, or even traders, swing traders, this high over here, same thing with Bitcoin. We can apply it here short term, but it's mainly this over here. As soon as we get that higher high, that next high or low, wherever it is, you want to be in on that. Now, that might be during summer. It might be a little ways away. We can also make that same play here. Once we get above this high, we come back down for either a retest or higher low. And it could be down here, just to tell you. You don't know just yet how choppy that this is going to get, okay? But even if she does something like that, that will be a nice place to look at trying to get an entry. I would try to avoid chasing it on the way up, thinking that we're going to Valhalla. The banana zone is right around the corner. Altcoin season's here, ladies and gentlemen, because it doesn't quite happen like that. Hope I'm wrong, ladies and gentlemen. If you FOMO'd in and bought the flag to the upside, I hope it does well for you. But there are some resistance areas up here that we need to be aware of. However, there are some plays me out there, and so let's take a look at them. Thank you for hanging out with me, 24 people. Shout out to you guys. Wow! We got the pimp suit on tonight because we're going to be looking at pimping some altcoins. And let me come over to the chat, see what you guys are talking about over here. Make sure I'm not skipping over anything. When short, I'm actually looking at some of those ideas now, and I'm not planning on putting them into play right now, but that is part of one of my strategies with the spot margin. MG Motorsport says, watching Zombie on a large TV. What a time to be alive. Ah! Hey, glad to have you here, MG. Floki. Is Floki doing something? Kelly says, oh my gosh, Tao paid me so well. Tao's a good one. Tao is a good one. CJ NIS is looking to possibly short around 88,400. Yeah, that could be a possibility there, that area. That's one of my targets too, that I think I'm taking some profit right around there, or looking to take some profit. I don't know if it's going to, you know, short wise, how big of a short, but yeah, I think it definitely, there'd definitely be one there. And so with the spot margin play, the way that works, becomes up. I can borrow and sell at 88,000 or whatever. You know, if I see the reversal coming down there, and if it gets a good pullback, and I don't know if it goes from 88, maybe it comes back just to 85 or something and bounces, then I can take that money and rebuy it there. In essence, you know, on spot margin, it can kind of work in those ways. Not much of a spread though for me with 10x. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take a look at some coins that are kind of working right now. Take a look at Onyx coin. She is still hanging around this little area here. She got a little bounce today, so she's finding some support, a higher low possibly putting in right here. And I find that to be interesting on this particular coin. That is retesting if we pulled from high to low down here. If we're gauging this, you know, gauging the strength of the move. This is what I use, you know. If, you know, we got to get above this area, hold it. So we went up a little higher, tested areas, came back, and we're holding it. Okay, that's a very valid way to use your fibs and look at it. However, we can also at this point, and it would make sense by that rationale or that theory that, oh man, we're going to bounce here and maybe make a higher high and come up to the 3.3 cent area, and it may be. She may be. One other way that we could do is take into account this current low we got. Swing low to swing high. Tell me where I need to buy. And some people will see this as a flag or call it a flag. It was trying to at the 382. She's down to the 0.5. She can get a nice bounce here. And that could be the 0.5 bounce can be a very interesting one to play. But that one should take us right up here to this area, 3.5 cents. If we do manage to get a bounce off this area, if we do hold this, that's the target I would be looking for. If we lose this, then I'm looking for these two guys down here, possibly 15 cents and then possibly right at 12. And so it depends on what Bitcoin does and what the market does over this next week. If it gets bearish on us, we can start looking down here because that's the way the market goes. If everything else is starting to look good, well, there might be some people come in, well, I'm going to put some money in on Onyx coin, and they'll just pump it up from here. And we should start looking at those next targets. And from where we are to there is not bad on this little coin. As far as a place to DCA on this coin, this is not a bad place. At 1.7 cents is not a bad place to put it in. But when she goes down to a dime, you can feel it. So just know that. But this one's that's not a bad place. Not a bad place. Considering that this one should be going back up to 4, maybe even 5 cents, you'd look back and say, "Dang, maybe I should have got in there." Remember, we are testing. Okay, this would be 100% move if we actually make it up to the target I got. That's too much, road dog. This coin can do it. It can do it. There are other targets in betwixt there. Don't get me twisted. Don't get it twisted. You want to take a little profits. You'll definitely see. You definitely see your numbers go up quicker on these little plays like this. But let's go back to this theory. You remember with our Fibonacci strategies, anywhere under or at or under the 236 area is the that's when you say, man, I should have bought a lot more back there. That's the buy zone. That's the technical, the good buy zone for the. If you're trying to hold this for a minute, okay, if you're trying to do maybe a swing trade, if you're trying to do a longer term, well, I mean, even if you're trying to do anything, but that's just the rules of the game. This is a good place to be accumulating. And we're just retesting the top of it. So yeah, to DCA and do a little here, see what happens. And if we do start coming up, maybe you can add to it, but at least you got some skin in the game. And if she comes down, you just add. The idea would be to add to your bags through here, around 15 or maybe 12, or 1.5 cents or 1.2 cents. It can happen, may not happen. That's why it's not a bad idea to pinch in there. All right, took a look at that one, and yeah, I think that she got a little some legs on her. Let's take a look at. We'll take a look at a few other coins here. I'm not sure if they're doing what they're doing at all right now. Osmosis. I like this one. Now this one I've seen this one up to $11 last cycle. It is a decentralized exchange on Cosmos ecosystem, which I think, I don't know about you guys, and I don't know, a lot of people on YouTube, they'll just chase whatever's hot, and get a lot of their people chasing whatever's hot, and then a lot of people end up with bags for what's hot, and then suddenly what's not. But an overall plan, if you're for crypto, in my personal opinion, clearly the cycle has shown that the number one performer has been Bitcoin. Bitcoin dominance has said that. So definitely Bitcoin. Other than Bitcoin, when it comes to altcoins, my main focus or my main thesis is leaning heavier into the layer ones, because it's going to be hard to pick what projects on those layer ones are going to be the successful ones, or when they're going to pop off or whatever. You can look at those, but if you go with the layer one and one that actually benefits, then I think you get a lot more motion from your ocean, if that makes any sense, because you're going to get a piece of the pie. The layer ones would be a nice little, like Solana versus going with all the little, like Orca and all the other little things on there. Now, they're definitely worth talking about, some of those guys, but or the meme coins on there, whichever is getting the action on it. The layer ones are going to benefit from it. So that's pretty solid. It's a little bit boomer, but hey, if you want to be making money instead of always watching everything just go crazy, I think that's a good strategy. My next idea and narrative would be the actual DeFi, and especially ones that have rumors or had plans in the fore of doing some kind of sharing of fees with staking token holders and things like that. And so that leads me to some things like Uniswap. I'm kind of looking at that one. Osmos, like Osmos token that I'm looking here, because that's DeFi on the Cosmos layer, and that kind of thing. Aerodrome maybe for base, although you're kind of getting where how is that going to how's that going to generate income if it's so cheap to use base anyway? But those are the kind of the current things that I'm looking at. Can I do all this? Oh gosh darn it. Hey. All right. So at Osmosis, if I can get rid of this stuff. Oh, geez. She's in a big ass falling wedge. I'm here in the 4 hour, but she's making a possible W bottom here. Now, it just depends on your risk tolerance and how you play these kind of games, but there is a possible play to be had here. If I can draw a line, please. Can I draw a line? Can we? Can we? Yeah, it's not. I'm just going to get that line too. So with a double W pattern or double bottom, the safe idea is to buy after she breaks above it. That would be the breakout trade. And just to give you a heads up, a lot of people, when they come into pattern trading, they start out with breakout trades. That's the first thing you learn. Then after a while, you learn, oh crap, the market makers already expect that. So that's why they play all them silly little games of stopping you out. Look, put your stop loss below there, you're good, right? And market makers take you up, and then they take you down, and they screw around with things. It's easier for me to see things as a higher high and then a higher low. Go for that higher low next time that she comes back for a retest, if she does at all. Or just buy down here. I know it's a little, some people don't have that risk tolerance, right? I like buying near the bottoms of things like here. This is where I start looking, or if, any kind of breakout of trend lines, I start looking at those guys and getting above my 9 moving average. But some people have, a little bit more higher, everybody's got a different risk tolerance and everybody's got a different way to get in this game. But that would be the next valid play, is the breakout, and that would be somewhere around 22-23 cents. Another one would be the breakout of this fallen wedge. You can keep putting little validations as far as you want, but eventually, if you don't jump in at some point, that's the thing, where whatever your rules are to jump in, you got to actually jump in at some point. And now everybody's rules will vary for that. Some of us do it a little earlier than some others. Some people have no trigger whatsoever. They're saying, looks good. Oh, it's got a shape. It's got a flag. Let's jump in. Everybody's got their own little things. But if you go too far, you can miss it. You got to take the move. But this one looks interesting just because it's trying to do a double bottom. And even if it fails, you know, you're somewhere, chances are you're down near a bottom. Okay, it's a great little place to start getting it. Not that I'm shilling this or anything. I mean, I'm just saying this to apply to any chart you're looking at that looks similar to this. There's a lot of things that could happen. Doesn't mean we're going straight up, but these are the places where it makes sense to start building a little bit of an accumulate a little back. She got down as low as 19 cents. She's at 22. Okay, we talked about this one can go up 3, 4, 5. I've seen up $11 before or higher. I don't know if she'll get up that far this time, but that one's interesting. Another one we looked at recently, and I'm not in on this, was gas. Now this is for Neon, the chain Neon. Chinese Ethereum is what it was built at a couple of cycles ago. This one over on Binance.io is up to $3.54 here. She was recently down to 190. Just a few days ago, about 10 days ago, this one was down here, and we looked at this one. Apparently I did not do much with this particular chart. Was it Binance? I guess we'll stick with that. Anyway, now there's a chance that she could be coming back to about 280, 290 for a little retest idea. So, you know, hey man, that can happen. You get a little bit of time. They're just now getting started. They've still got resistance. And for this one, it's got some resistance up here about 445, even if it goes up that high. Wait for a Fibonacci and swing high to swing low. Same deal. 316 can definitely be a retest area for this little guy. And that's quite a bit lower than 355, so you don't have to FOMO in on anything, but they're starting to look a little interesting here to me. They're starting to look a little interesting here to me. And then again, for more conservative traders, it would be waiting until we get past maybe that 200 moving average and start reclaiming some areas. These coins are going to be a little shaky, I think, but I think that we're also seeing some of these guys pop off. Look at you, Stacks. Look at you, Fart Coin. What the hell's Fart Coin doing? Well, let's take a look at old Fart Coin here on where we want to go. MixC looks good. Woo! Oh my gosh, look at that inverted upside down spider on the chandelier pattern right there. I looked up on the ceiling and there he was just looking at me, honey. I didn't know. And then they stuck his little all right, so we still got we got a measure move target. That's what the blue line is up here, about $1.05. Let's see, we're in a range with a little bit of fall in volume, but that daily candle looks kind of good. Let's come down and see what Fart Coin's doing. Let's come down and take a whiff. Now, look, shoulder, head and shoulder. This is all over. And yeah, you could. Yeah, it looks more like a triple top than a head and shoulders. Usually for a textbook head and shoulders, you are looking for a bigger head. I mean, if you're going by the textbook, the explanations on those kind of things. Important thing is the old neckline. If you don't have a good neckline, a solid neckline, then in my personal opinion, you don't really have a good pattern. If there was a neckline there, that would be it. And see that little retest, that's one of the ways that I like to look for them. Yeah, okay. And then now we broke back into it, so that's a busted pattern right there. And what's the matter, measure move? Okay, yeah, well, she broke down, and you did get a little something out of that. But if you're trying to play that full measure move there, you would be a little disappointed. Or if you're trying to see that. Our head and shoulders is a reversal pattern, darlings, and this one's not reversing, is she? She almost looks like she's getting ready to make a higher high over here pretty soon, is what the other things are telling me. So I guess you can say that's a busted pattern. It's a triple top in my personal opinion. Anyway, that's just splitting hairs on stuff. The real cool kids would We were chasing these trend lines here, and that's what I would have. One of the ideas I would have been chasing there. I do know that this little guy here, this got a good chance to come back down and retest this breakout area about 60 cents. So don't get it twisted. If we go up to 105 and get rejected up there, that might be something she might be thinking about doing. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, she's still within her reasons, her rights. She has not broken that trend line, and that's the one that matters. It will probably come back and test that more than likely, because you connect these little guys, and she looks like she might have a kind of a channel idea. Let's go ahead and do it this way. Let's take the angles from these trend lines, and let's copy this little guy. See if we got a little something.
Man, it's a hot one.
And it gives us 2 touches down here. I will keep that idea open. I'm always looking for them channels. Them channels kind of open up the space that we can go to, and it fits within our argument. BarkCoin, I think you're coming up here, baby. I think you're coming up to 104. Can you go higher? That was just a measure move target. She's got a nice rounded bottom right there, and you know what they say about them rounded bottoms, right? No, what did they say about them? They say they're hard to find the buttons for them. Where? Oh my gosh, this stuff's not working, dude. Is my stream, my stuff's not working? Why not you working? You should be working, dude. There we go. Are you working? They're all not working. Something is rotten here in the state of Denmark. 26 people, thank you for hanging out with me. Let's get our targets in line here. So 104 was the measure move. Now 117.8, believe it or not. And I mean, we got some nice little places that she could go to. I would be willing to bet that BarkCoin would have a good chance to pop up to these areas. Because crypto is stupid that way. So yeah, if you think who would do that, it's probably going to happen. So I would also put these little guys on my radar. 117 and right here at 149, 148. I'm just saying. But the measure move for this guy has still not been hit. 105 from the inverted upside down spider on the chandelier pattern. Only here on Road Dog Crypto. Yay! Whoa, this little hat's getting a little hot. I think it might be time to bring out the old turkey. We've been going for about 42 minutes. Let's switch you up just a little bit. Wow. Oh my gosh, what happened to your screen? I know. Boom. Ha. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the turkey. All right, so let's take a look at a few more coins here. OM Mantra DAO. There's been talks about them doing buybacks and this and that, and I don't know. That was pretty it's pretty lame looking. Now that we actually this is a 4-hour candle, so we're having to watch it on minutes until it figured out what it was doing, and it still doesn't look any better on the 4-hour. She's down to 53 cents now. The sucker just looks like she wants to just trail on back down, don't she? They may. Let's see. Let's get these guys up.
Man, it's a hot one.
You better bounce here, baby, at 52. If she don't bounce soon right here at 52 cents or something, oh baby, I think we're headed back down to maybe 39. That would be the next place that I'd be looking for. And shorting this little guy might be a ticket. I'd be careful because they can flip it up and do a nice little short squeeze on your ass. But I saw somewhere on Twitter somebody saying 59 it should be the bottom, and I'm like, that didn't age too well. There's no signs here to tell you on the charts where the bottom is. She's not really technically other than over here, and she made a higher low, but now she got to keep it. She never could make a higher high from over here at that 99 cents. She couldn't do it. Never could do it. Therefore, putting a lower low than this one that she was at is on the table. That lower low would be down here at right now 40 cents or possibly 31. Keep that in mind on this one. She does not look like she's ready. She's having fun at all at the moment. Smooth. We'll take a look at Aave. To me, I think this one's a pretty decent DeFi play. And let's see, let's go with, how about Binance here? Oh, she's been coming up and I wish I had some more. I'm trying to get some more. I'm going to have to start playing her on the short side here pretty soon if she comes up to these areas. Sell just a little bit and buy it just a little bit cheaper when she gets down there. You don't have to chase is what I'm trying to get to. If you miss out on the move, you can also look to, you know, take some little small shorts at some certain areas. You know, I want to see what's going on at 786 and at 886, and I especially want to see what is going on right up here in this area. If we go up through there, those would be the places I would be looking at entertaining short ideas. Do like short bottoms. Don't believe in shorting the bottoms. That's what everybody else wants to do when price gets down here. I'm going to take a short. I've just found that I have better luck when I pick those little guys up through here. And by golly, I like to talk about it. So right now it looks like we might be coming up to test these little guys right up through here. So 164 and 177 would be some great little areas. 164 actually looks very doable to me. 154 would be on the radar in there, but we could break through. You know, it could go higher than that. Just because we got a fib level doesn't necessarily mean that that would be the one that's going to be respected. I would look to the left and see what you got. And this one's got some possibilities here. So we'll put you down there 154. Look at the 618 over here. Maybe, but this one over here 177 looks kind of high in case we want to really get up there. That might be a nice little place to take profit because this price never goes straight up. She goes up there and then has a little pullback. She goes up and then she comes down a little bit. In this case, she came down a lot. We're hoping that we're doing something like this. So look, ladies and gentlemen, what an uptrend actually looks like. It goes up and then it comes down. It goes up and then it comes down more. It goes up and it comes down. I just got to keep saying this. If you're buying it on the way up, she comes down, you feel bad. If you buys it when she's down, it goes up, you feels good. And if you can actually take a little profit at some of these little special fib areas, then you got something to buy at some of these lower fib areas. I'm just saying. Well, look at those little guys. I may bore people too much. You're talking too much strategy. Just tell us what's going up. Well, it looks like a lot of the altcoins are trying to do a little something. And we're getting a lot of good little buy signals on some of the indicators, suggesting that it might be worth taking a little trade every once in a while. You find the good little setup. Now, this looks like a good setup to me, or possible, or it was. Might still be. I like to buy at the bottom of trend line. She's not too far from that. The reason that I do like to buy, oh my God, he's doing that teaching crap again. I like to put me, if you can get in as close as you can to that bottom trend line, you can put a stop loss, you know, tighter than what you can if you buy at the top or breaking an upper level. Therefore, you get a little bit more risk to reward ratio, makes it a little bit less risky. And then we come down on the smaller time frame and see, is this feasible? Is there a chance that I might be able to get an entry? And I would say, yeah, if you're patient, yeah. You would have to be patient on this or not to chase, and there would be a little bit of a retrace, and it may only be back down to this level. Some people looking at the horizontal levels would go here, but I kind of like this guy right here, about 140, 141. And you could put a dang tight stop loss because, and you know what I would do? You know what I'll do, darling, for my stop losses, you know, just as a general rule, if I was going to do something like that. And put it below that 272 or that 1414. Put it somewhere over here. You put it down low enough, it probably would not get hit there. That's one idea. Does it still click? Does it work? It's a 5. That's almost a 6%. Your risk reward ratio sucks. You got a 2.69 to 1 risk reward ratio with the stop loss there. If you wanted to put it up shorter, you could. Oh, look, now it's a 4. That's awesome. You can do that. You definitely can. Putting it below that trend line would be good. However, we got some wicks there, so there's some wiggle room. Anyway, Ave looks like she's going up a little bit, in my personal opinion. Let me come to the chat, see what you guys are chatting about. Ave Medina says, visit our free Telegram group. Links in the description below. Ave says, Joe's probably sleeping. Editing, listen to Road Dog, catching up on the chat. Scanned the chat, didn't see my name highlighted. Not sure if someone asked me a question. Teach me, master. Hey, man. I don't know if you're a member of the YouTube thing, but it's what, the $3 a month thing. I've got Chart School over there. Can I pull it up? Can I do that? Playlist, I guess. Oh, yeah, members only. Oh, great. Now, what, I can't show it? Oh, you suck. But for the $3 a month YouTube thing or whatever, memberships, and sometimes they're given out free. Just whatever, click it on so you can receive one whenever they give them out, because sometimes people do that. And then you can check it out, have access to Chart School live series, as well as the Chart School videos that I put out like a while back, which are still good. And I don't know. And then I'm teaching the ways that I do things in my methods, and it resonates with some people. It doesn't resonate with everybody. Not everybody likes the fibs as much. Not everybody likes trend lines as much. Some people, everybody has their own way and everything. Everybody does not have to trade the same. But I do feel that I can show you some things that maybe some other people don't see or don't recognize or don't consider too much, especially when it comes to some support resistance ideas. And especially if you've been taught how to trade flags, yeah, I can probably help them work out for you a little bit better. Let's take a look at NKN, New Kind of Network. I'm not in on this one, but I know some of you guys are. Ask about it. And it popped up on Tokenmetrics. I was looking at that before the show tonight. And looked like, yeah, she popped out. She popped out. This is one, okay? This is one. We were talking about this the other night. This is when, some people look at this and say, I would not touch this with a stick. And a lot of people don't like it. I mean, she made a lower low. What I saw was a nice little falling, you look at it as a falling wedge on the daily, falling channel idea. Now, it's been a minute, and it can take it, but that's a bullish pattern, right? And you don't know, she even went a little bit lower than some of the lines I had there. But I do remember saying, if you like this one, this is a good place to kind of nibble and DCA or start working on a position on the low lows, because this is where all the money is made. This is where your X's are made. Listen, there is nothing wrong with waiting for confirmations whatsoever. That is highly advised to do, especially if you're new to the game. Why will you not draw for me, brush tool? There we go. Do I have to hold you down? So here's the thing: if you wait and let's say you're waiting by the retest here or something like that, and you can conservative play, and that's a breakout play. You get 83 if we come back up to this target at 0.9. However, for someone playing it down here, it's not 80%, it's almost a 4x. It's 382%. See the difference? This is where you can make your big gains with smaller amounts of money. Imagine this, okay? Here, You wait for here and you go in kind of, you go $100. All right, we get target, you got $185. Good. Oh man, are you still not working? Why? You suck. Why don't you work? Man. My equipment is not working tonight. I don't know why. Why are you not working? Anyway, clap your hands. Let's move on. All right, but let's say that you come down here and you only put $25 in. Well, you come up here, that $25 is turned into what? $100. If you put $100 in down here, you'd be looking at almost maybe at 500. It's 395% gains there percent over that 100 initial that you put in. Pretty good come up. So, but I do see a lot of people on YouTube when they see something that's down at the bottom, man, this is like, and I'm just telling you that those are usually good places when you feel like that. Not on everything. Some of these coins totally suck, right? Some of them totally suck. I mean, look at OM. She's down at the bottom too, so you have to be tricky with that. But there might be something there. It's a higher, in some people's eyes, it's a higher risk. In my eyes, it's a lower risk to get in on some of these if you believe in the project. You got to have the conviction for the project and the trade to play these bottoms, right? Or at least have the, be comfortable that, this may not be the bottom, but there's signs here that it was, or at a bottom area. So congratulations. I'm not in on this one, but some of you are. And for those of you that did, weren't scared off. I mean, you're up. You went up 200%, and you're still up 122% from whatever you added or opened or did from here. Now, for the people who were buying over here and just wrote it down, well, that's a different story. Chasing them candles. Your $100 turned into, it turned into 10, and now it's back up at about 35 or 36 or something. So it's not for the candle chasers, but unless you're chasing them red ones. That was cool. Let's check out AVAX. This one should be a decent play. But my goodness. Oh yeah, let me get up. Let's go with, I'm not looking for future so much. I guess we can. I just want chart history and a fresh chart. I think one thing I would do with a lot of these coins is check out their weekly and just see what that looks like. And this one's had some good signs there from the previous weeks. Come to the 3-day. 3-day would be a nice one to check out too. This one's already had some positive momentum going. She just looks like she could still carry it up. Here we are on the 3-day. We got the 50 above the 200 moving average, 100 below it. Man, we got a little area up here. That's right around $28 to $30, and that looks like that's about where we're headed. Wow, interesting. So the first area I'd be looking for that we're probably going to tap $24, and then right here we are at $30.48. That would be our next one right there. So anything below $24 is still a juicy area to look at getting in on this. If you're looking for maybe a swing trade idea, something, or a midterm hold kind of idea, because she is in bottom territory. If you want to wait for confirmation, you would be buying somewhere about $24 and getting about a 25, hopefully about a 25% gain. If you're a little bit more degen-y right now, and you can get in around $20, there may be cheaper prices though, and we get up there, that would be 52% gains. So just an idea. We did make a lower low than we had here, and that will scare a lot of people there, but let's take our low to high there. And she bounced at the 886 area right there, and that's a good sign to me. So seeing that, the chances are that she probably won't go below 15 anytime too soon. Just saying, just chances are that she might not. No promises, nothing. She could come up to some point and get rejected and come back down and do that. That'd piss a lot of people off. But 886 should be relatively strong there. And if we're looking at, say, the 3-day MACD and everything, I mean, we just flipped, right? And if we could be doing something like this, hopefully, not something like this, but something where we're getting a nicer move up, that would be cool. So I see possibly $24 to $30 coming soon. Let's go to the smaller time frame here, like the 4 hour. 4 hours giving us a ribbon flip here. And I don't even have, are the big moving averages, did we take them off? Oh man, we need to put them back on there. Those tell me a lot. So yeah, we still got our bearish flips. It's going to take her a little while. You will have some time to accumulate through this between where we are. I would say between $16, $17 and 25, 28, 26, 25, 26. I think we're going to be in this little range for a little while to plan. So anytime she does come down to these little juicy prices, I would take advantage of that. But I'm talking about over a series of weeks, 4 to 6 weeks, maybe, that we might be looking at, that we could possibly bounce through here. Maybe 4 is too much. Maybe 2 weeks or so. We're on the 4 hour, by the way. I like that one. Looks interesting. We can draw a little trend line there, connect some dots, and if we draw another trend line here. Now, some people would be looking at this, and I'm like, what does that tell you? In my opinion, you got 2 options to do. You can copy this little guy and just apply him somewhere, and that doesn't fit as great as something else would. But there's your idea. You got a we want to get 2 touches on one side, 3 on the other. That's the general rule we're looking for. Here we can get 2 touches here, and that makes it smiling. This is a megaphone pattern here on the smaller time frame, so it's a local pattern. Other people would be probably zooming out and looking at some of these, you know, drawing some other ideas. You can play the local patterns. It has a 72% chance to break up, especially if it gets a partial decline area. Starts not coming all the way back down to the bottom of the pattern, but going sideways here, and that's usually a sign that she's getting ready to break out. And you can take a little measured move from this little guy right here, put it there, and that seems to take you right up here to our little target area. Right here, about $30. Maybe I get paid to do the wild thing. Wow, baby! Let me come over to the chat. Can't stand. Happy Easter, man. How's it going? Strong Shorts Soul. How's it going? That name is so hard to say. Peter Piper pecked a peck of Pippo Peckers. They say peppers or... Oh, gosh. Anyway. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate that. Warthog Thunderbolt. Did I miss the pump? I think you will feel like you missed some of the pump, but no, I don't think you missed the pump. I don't believe that we're ready for straight up God candles out of anything right now, but we are getting some, we're starting to get some of the more positive action. And the thing, what I said at the beginning of the show, is true for Bitcoin and everything else too. This is the Bitcoin chart. At some point, we're going to make a higher high, and then we're going to make a higher low. After we confirm a higher high, and that will be, my plan is to either, I'm selling out of some of these things, taking some profit, or de-risking, however you want to say that, shorting, borrowing and shorting, because I do some spot margin, and that will help me build my bags when we come back down here. And then after we get our higher high, the next higher low is where I want to start focusing in on really building my positions for what might be coming next. And so even me looking, I'm like, oh man, I wish I'd got a little bit more when it was cheaper. I mean, that allows me to do this, so I can be taking profits and building dry powder. There's always that little part in the back of our mind that says it's going to do this, it's going to do this. This is the one. This is going to, I don't want to miss it. And it never does. Until one day it'll do something a little bit more like that, but we're not there yet. The stars will have to align. By stars, I mean indicators, and price action will have to start giving us some signs, but they're starting to show. Hey man, I'm ready to start. We're ready to negotiate. We're ready to negotiate. Please don't tariff our asses anymore. We're ready to negotiate with you. So they're coming to the table, and that higher high, we just need it higher high. We can get that 88, 89,000, even 92. I don't know. We get above this little guy. Higher high, next higher low. What I want, baby. And it might be a scary one. Who knows? It was a scary one back the last time they did it too. Well, that wasn't really their higher high. It was their higher low. And those are two things that we're looking for: higher low or higher high. Technically, by that standard, it would have been this one to get that higher low, and that wasn't much of a. That was a shallow higher low if you're playing that game. It would have been here. You get up to your higher high, and then get on your next higher low. And so Bitcoin, back here, you had to zoom out to kind of see it a little bit clearer. It's always good to zoom out. Bitcoin got up to 66.5, dropped back down to 6,500, did a little give and take there, short squeeze, or a little stop hunts happened there, a little fake out, and then she started continuing with her higher highs and higher lows. And that's the same kind of model that I'm trying to follow through here. And that lets you know that you still got a chance, so you don't have to FOMO and buy on these big green candles. So here we are, 68 cents. Fart coin. FET's doing pretty good. It's starting to get some more hype around it, I guess. I hope so. Pump my bags, baby. I actually got a decent bag, a size bag of this, and it's like just giving back all of our gains. I've just had it staked. That was cool, because I hadn't checked that in a long time, and there was quite a number of rewards there. So short term, we got a lot of little short targets that one of them just got hit. This was your take profit zone for a weekend swing. Congratulations. Oh man. Okay, week first, skip. Why are these things not working? Why is that not working? For real. I've got some element that my clappy hands aren't working. My Shakira works. What's this? Something happened. Something happened. Somebody switched my buttons around, and it wasn't me, but it has to be me because I'm the only one that can. Why? How did that happen? So this one works. This one doesn't. But this one does. No, now this one doesn't. You suck. Holy crap! Where did you guys come from? Duck! Man. Those Shylocks, you gotta watch out for them Shylocks. Look, we got a measure move over here at 67 cents. I'll give you the money soon, CoinEX, I promise. Don't liquidate me. 67 cents and possibly up to 73. I like that. FET, if you can do it. She's breaking down that little channel. She got down to 35 cents. Wow. 35 to where we are now is almost doubled up. Not quite, but we're getting there. 60 or 73% gains from that very, very bottom. I think we had a request for Floki. Let's go take a look at Floki. Floki, I'm on the daily. I want a bigger time frame. Oh, these are some targets from... Are we still valid? Should be still valid. Yeah, you're from here to there, right? Let me check. I don't know when the last time is I looked at this little guy. Ooh, we got to adjust. That wasn't you. Let's tighten up our game here just a little bit. Oh, snap.
Bought the wrong coin just now. Didn't see how it went down. My screen went wild and spun around. Now my high hopes hit the ground. I said, "Fling it." The trade
So, the one I think is really worth holding out for would be this one. And that's at 85.03, and we're at 59.20 right now. I mean, that's sort of short-term target for somebody getting in. A lot of people are probably still holding on to Floki from, you know, they might have had it from way back here and to be breaking even or still up a little bit, or maybe they're down from buying it over through here. It could be seen as risky to get into Floki at these prices below this trend line here, but I would predict probably a fake out and we'll probably recover that. Just my guess. I'm just saying. I would. My little DJ would be saying, I'd trickle some in, especially if we got a breakout from a trend line. I would be. That's just me though. I jump out there sometimes. But again, when you jump out there, when she's at some of these risky places, when you buy when other people are too scared to buy, I'm not saying buying a lot. I'm just saying, you know, within reason. It is a meme coin, by the way. So I'm talking, you know, depending on the size of your account or something. If you got a smaller account, you know, maybe $50, $100. And she comes up to there, it's $50 or $100. It's easier, $100. $100 would turn into maybe 140, 144. My argument, ladies and gentlemen, before the jury is that when we pull a Fibonacci from this swing high impulse move down to this bottom one here, to what we might consider our lows, we are within our little special, I wish I'd bought more when it was down here, zone. And since you're down here, I wish I'd bought more when it was down here, zone. You might as well buy some when it's down here. If you're in the Floki. Only if you're in the Floki. In my personal opinion, these are some areas that a DCA strategy would be very beneficial. My personal opinion on things when they're in a bottom like this, trying to get a short-term trade, some people would probably be thinking about that. I think about more of something swing trade or midterm hold trade. Something that I can get a little bit in and then wait till she gets at a decent profit area and then start focusing on that. And for Floki here on the daily, something like that could look like $100 in right now. Don't say do it right now. Could turn into $330 when we get up back up to this area that we've been at a lot. And so that's how I look at these guys. Unless you're trying to do perpetual futures, throw some leverage on it, spot margin or something like that, you can still work that in spot margin. Ladies and gentlemen, let me come to whoa! Yay! Hey, it worked! Ah! Oh, now it's gone. I'm trying to get some snazzy stuff going. Thank you, Ave Magina. Thank you for the super chat. Let's go check out Jupiter. Jupiter's at 38 cents last time I looked at it. What's it doing right now? At 39? Oh, cool. All right, I got way too many fibs open. Let's see. That's Jupiter. Let's go with a different. Jupiter against the Turkish lira. Yeah, it's struggling against the Turkish lira right now. You can get 15 Turkish liras out of every Jupiter. Just letting you know. KuCoin looks good. That's USDC. Petrol futures on MXC. Let's go with that. Okay, so Jupiter. I think she looks like she's at a possible bottom-ish area. Therefore, I don't mind taking a high to a low to establish where she might want to go. And 56 cents looks like the best little target around right now. 56 to 73 look great little targets. That's from our bigger pool, so these would technically be stronger targets to shoot for. Let's come down on, let's see what's going on the daily. 9 cross the 21 moving average. We got a candle above them. Just on moving average strategies alone, on this one you got a buy signal. That would be a buy signal for me. That would be a trigger for me just by this strategy alone. If I were, you know, we had my bots program, it would have bought on that crossing just on that, on the daily. That would be for, you know, more of a longer term swing trade. And let's say for it to go up to 56 cents would be 43% gain. So $100 in right now on this time frame could get to be $143, maybe up to $180, $190, just depending. So I'm going to take trend lines because I'm a trend line guy. And when I can't take them to candle bodies, you can see we had a breakout, and it was a lackluster breakout, and she rode the leg down, but then she finally caught. She caught, and it can happen that way. It sucks when it does, but all is not lost to the world. She found a nice little Fibonacci area there at the 0.5. Ah! We got another super chat. And so she's working on getting up there now. 50 cent to 56. That looks definitely hot. I like what I'm seeing here on this one. Let me come down to the smaller time frame. And let's go from these candle bodies. We're tracking there, and we kind of lost that. But now we can come underneath it, include that, and we got one touch, definitely two touch areas with a little wiki area, and the wicks should probably respect that angle. I find that when you take it from the bodies as best that you can, the wicks, and when you put out to the wicks, they respect that as well. So we're deviating away from the main trend line here, and that's a good sign. That's showing some curvaceousness. That's showing a little bit of possible parabolic activity, so we might get a strong move out of this one. So if you're looking at the vector candles and all that, what do they call that? The CTC, what is it? Oh man, I can't remember. The stuff that came over from the Forex side and all, ICT and all that stuff. A fast down. Basically, you get a big fast down like that. You can get a big fast up. That's the easiest way to understand that. Sometimes when it goes to the 50% mark, that's a little trick that you would play with that. That was a Charles Dow move right there. So, saying that you might get a little something happening right here at the 0.5. A little resistance there. If you look over to the left of that 0.5, you will see where we wick down. So that does make it a possible support resistance kind of flip area. Meaning that what is this, Jupiter? She may be coming up there, and then maybe she comes down. Maybe she does, a bigger pattern, a double bottom, a bigger double. It could happen. It could happen. I don't know if it will or not. We could sit here and speculate 1,000 ways that price can go. Really, all I look at is I just want to see what happens there. That's all. I don't care what it does in between here and that broad and my target, because whatever lines I draw probably will not even be anywhere close to what price action does. I gave up on trying to do anything like that. But I look at how it reacts at these areas, if it gets rejected there or not. And then when price gets up there, I'm looking at my other indicators and how things are reacting at there, and then we can proceed. Should I take profit there, or of course, you can take profit immediately there, or does it look like it's trying to do something else? Does it look like it's in danger of maybe breaking the trend line where the 3 humps and a dump? We take we see what happens as we go along, but we can definitely point out some of the likely places that she will be looking at, and I would have to say That 44 to 40, almost 48 cent area is going to be nice. That little zone through there, she can wick up through all through this zone. I'm saying that she was going to get bounced at 44, but this would be a nice little zone there. So for Jupiter, where's my tool? He said tool. If we get past to the 0.5, it's about 12%. Getting up. I drew that box too high. Getting up to the 48 cent area would be about 20% gains. I drew that too high. Or through here. But now getting up here where we will eventually, it may take her a little while. But getting back up to about 56 cents, that would be cool. Not only cool, but it's trying to happen. It's trying to. The biggest areas are going to be here between 66 and 73, just trying to see how we handle all this previous support area there. Let's take a look. Should we go to the smaller time frame? Smaller ones. We still got that negative pressure there from the bigger moving averages, but the other ones, the smaller ones, are normal 5 or flipping. They're good. We're trying to get out of this. A lot of these altcoins are showing signs of they're trying to turn the tide. I look at the moving averages that I've got, all 5 or all 8 of them, they're a river. They are a river. These are just currents in the river. And you start seeing the smaller ones overtake the bigger currents. That means, oh, we're getting some rapid. We're starting to flip it, and we're starting to do something. The current's starting to, the river's starting to bend. We're starting to go in a different, more positive direction than when that happens. That's what the moving averages. They were like water. Be like water. Be like Bruce Lee. Like Bruce Lee. Be like water. And the currents are starting to look really nice and yummy here on the smaller time frames. Altcoins are getting the bump that we've been talking about. Finally starting to happen, but I don't think it's going to be they're going to top out. So you need to be taking profits on the way, getting paid along the way, so that you don't have to ride the roller coaster, because riding this roller coaster sucks. The most current support resistance area that we're looking for Jupiter right now. She's making a triangle pattern. Might be facing a little difficulty right there at 40 cents, but when we break out of it, we're going up. Let's go check out. Thank you for there is another super chat. My clappy hands stopped working. Clappy hands. Are we not signed in? We should be signed in, dude. Don't go over here. Clappy hands. You're pissing me off, clappy hands. There we go. Clappy hands. Now I lost the chat. So we got another super chat from Ale. Thank you so much for that. For Zeus, we'll go over here and take a look at Zeus. Is this thing not working? I'm hitting the little likey thing and it's not giving me it's not giving. It took one out. That one's not cool. Now it's got 3. I don't know what's going on there. Let's go take a look at Zeus. Hey, if you didn't know, there's a little airplane flying around the screen, and it has the 4-letter word DAWG. We'll save you 10% off at the Tangem Wallet store. You go to the Tangem Wallet store by Tangem.com, or just get the app on your phone, and then you can use it, through the app to order your cards. It's easy, however you want to do it. Whenever you happen to think about it, you're like, man, I need a good wallet, and Tangem's a really good wallet. Wish I knew how I could save 10%. Dog, DAWG. It'll work for you every freaking time. Love these wallets. All right, so that was my spiel. Let's go over here and take a look at Zeus. Zeus. Let's go with OKX. 27 cents right now. We got 618 target up there at 49. I don't know if it's still valid. I would hope that it is, but I don't know. We'll have to check all this. Let's see what we got. We need to zoom out. Always good to zoom out. And this is a bunch of old stuff. She broke a trend line. She made a lower high, yeah. She made a higher high or a higher low is what she did right here. That's the first sign of something good happening. Well, technically, she made a higher high and then a higher low. Technically, this is where you want to buy, if you believe in the advice by W.D. Gann, which I do, because he made a lot more money in his lifetime than I ever have, and he had a much better understanding of this market. Doesn't mean that we're completely bull ass ready to just go to the moon though, dude. We still got to get past these areas of about 45 cents, but hey man, from here to there, that's a pretty good come up. I would predict, because I like to predict. I like to predict that you know, wherever we might bounce into this trend line is going to be resistance. I would predict that we might see a bouncy at that trend line somewhere. Oh man, can you do it? You want to do it? You want to? You want to have some fun? What is that's 5 days from now? No, that's just being stupid. I want to be stupid. All right. I predict within the next 5 days, ladies and gentlemen, we hit one of these targets, and if I don't, you can say you suck, road dog. You suck. But let's have some fun. I don't know if it will or not, but there's some signs that it might. I'm going to go with it. We're going to make a prediction here on the channel. We're going to make a prediction for you, sir. Hey, man. Are you working? I mean, is this thing working? I don't know that you're working. I feel like I'm missing some stuff here. That's what changed. We no longer have our prediction screen. All right, well, can't do that. We can go skating though. Jenny, you want to go skating? Nah, me neither. All right. Look at this nice little beautiful trend line that we just put here, from taking candle bodies to, well, to these bodies, because when we took it to these bodies, we lost it and we're going down to the, no, we got some wicks there. We got some wicks there. There's some wiggle room. That's some wiggle room. So we're going to get us some valid touches here. I like what we're getting there. We did have this at a support level, right? Was your support level? Yes, you did 8867. Oh man, that looks juicy good to me. I love it. Look, I love this. Here on, we're on the daily. We're on the daily. This is what gets my little what do you call this that go turkey? This is what makes my wings want to stretch out. I like when I find setups like this. To me, this is a setup. When we're on a bottom possible trend line there, and we're showing signs of higher highs and higher lows, and we're getting a bounce off of that. Same thing I mentioned earlier, your risk to reward ratio is so much better here. And so if you got conviction that we can get up to 35 cents or even to our target, what was it, 44? And you put your risk reward ratio, even if you put it below the lowest candle here you got a week ago at what, 24 cents, that's 8%. The risk reward ratio is about 7 to 1 to get up there, and the whole idea is that if this is going to be making bullish higher highs and higher lows, she's got to at least come up to 48, maybe go up to 52, right? If that's what we're doing, and that would be the play, right? In my personal opinion on this. So even getting up here, ooh, that's a 95%. That's 11 to 1 risk reward. Now you're talking stupid, turkey. And I'm like, no, man, this is what I like to do. You don't have to do it, but that's why it gives me a little boner when I look at it. I like that. I like getting that. That's nice. Now here on the 4 hour, yeah, I still like that. You could even tighten it up, but you might get stopped out if they do something crazy like Tuesday or something. They just decide to tank the market, and be some news day or something, and then the market makers come out and say, gotcha, bitch, and then they take it up. Yeah, we don't want anything like that to happen. I don't think she would come down that low, but I'm talking about like down here somewhere. Just my ideas, don't have to be your ideas, but I like that. Still, she will, she can come up and then we can come down in range. So I like that. We're a nice little trade setup. Sweet. And that's on the 4 hour. Let's look at you on the smaller time frames. Everything's pointing toward 30 cents right now. Smaller time frames right there. And from 27 to 30 doesn't sound like much, but it's 12%. I like where it's at right there. That's a place I would look for. Either DCA strategy would be good, possibly entering a trade. because your risk reward ratio would be low there. Even if you wanted to wait for confirmations, I mean, just seeing that, and then you can come in smaller time frames, and maybe you want to be conservative here and just wait for a higher high. My thing is, I wouldn't buy the higher high, I would buy the higher low, wherever it might be. How many times do you see them when you clear an area? What happens? If you go in, they come back down. You clear the area, come back the higher low. They clear the area. Well, a higher low, maybe. She kind of lost some. There were some signs that she lost some trend lines there. And everybody, like I said, everybody's got their own different thing. But for like pattern traders and things like that, the first thing that they teach you is a breakout trade, and that's kind of what that is. And after a while, you learn, oh man, buying the breakout kind of sucks because I just get stopped out a lot, or this or that. What if I were to buy near the bottom? What if I were to buy where people would put a stop loss? What if I had an order in where people would put a stop loss? These are the kind of little thought ideas that I find that are interesting. If you're going to be a degen, let's degen out for real. Let's get so degen that we're degen on the market makers. What the hell is this turkey talking about? I'm saying, like, man, you get your little setup, whatever, right? You get your little stop loss here. You got your trade set up. Yeah, we're gonna put a stop loss below this low over here. What if you don't? What if you put another order in right there? I'm just saying. And you got your stop loss a little bit lower. What if you got another order there just in case, and you got your stop loss? If you were to get in, it came down here, it would trigger another one, right? You'd have a bigger entry there. It would lower your point of entry. If she still came down here, it would still lower your point of entry. And if she even stopped you out, well, okay, you're still within your range. You're still within a workable range, but you built up a position on the way down. Unfortunately, you got stopped out. The other situation would be, okay, she faked you out and she came back in, and now you got a lower position. And now she faked out everybody else, stopped them, and you get to take advantage of the short squeeze. There's so many different ways to play this market, so many different ways to do it, especially if you're a bottom feeder, I think. And that's just me talking. Let me come over to the chat because I'm just getting all chatty Cathy. Sicario says, out of respect for you, we had ham for dinner. Thank you, my man. Thank you so much. I can't tell you how much that means to me and my turkey. Bro, my clappy hands quit working, man. Sean, you gotta get the clap. Why are you? Do I just need to start you all over? I'm just gonna start all over. Oh, we froze. What the hell? I got clappy hands. Blinded by the light, says Straker. Javi Menina says, if you enjoy the music, take it with you on the road. You can. All you gotta do is ask Alexa to play songs by Road Dog Crypto. Go to Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, Tidal, wherever you stream, man. Road Dog Crypto songs should be there. Woo, we got some turkeys. We've been going for about an hour and 33 minutes. Be water, my friend. Be water. Strong short, so good night, Rhoda. Hey, good night, Sean. You might already be gone. That kind of makes me look, well, not a little bit late, but you're still here. Hey, good night. Glad you stopped by. All right, so there are a couple that are getting some attention I want to take a look at now. Pendle. Oh, she's bumping up. That's why she's getting some attention. She's looking pretty decent. 320 is a pretty decent area. She stays around that quite a bit, or she has in the past. I mean, she's hung around this area quite a bit, okay? You can probably think, I saw her around that price for a while. I wanted to get some of them, but I didn't. And then, you know, she can also come up and double that price. So that's at a decent price. And what we just talked about, trend lines and everything, how we broke back in, fake out. That's what this is a fake out. there's probably going to be a little short squeeze, and we're probably going to see $4 pendle soon. Just saying. I'm just saying. She's getting ready for something. I might need to top off my bag just a little bit. And that's on the daily. Coming to the 4 hour. And she's got some fight. Okay, so there's some zigzag. There's some zigzag going on, and there's a little flush out. I want to go for where we got the most touches there. I wouldn't doubt that she could do that again. And I wouldn't bet this is some orders down the 200 moving average, 360, somewhere around 280, 290. She comes back through there, and I think she could probably wick down there on some bad news. She's not out of the woods yet. She's got some stuff that she could still wick up and down through there. She's still in this little zone, but DCAing into this one, or just nibbling in on this one over the next few days could get you set up to where you could take advantage of some bigger prices there. And we're talking about, let's say she comes back down to where she's at 320. Let's say she comes down to 310, and we get up to this $4 area. That's a measured move. That's 55% gains. $5.20 would be 60% gains, just to get back up to these areas that she was at before. So the shoulder, head and shoulder to the downside. So you can get a little bit of a comeback in there. A lot of these coins are starting to look a little interesting for some smaller term plays. Gala Games, she's been getting some excitement today at almost 1.6 cents. Where were you down to? 1.2. Yay! It's time to pick out Lambo colors. So nice to see things that are starting to perk up a little bit. Looking on the weekly, we can see that over this past week that we've got a nice little move out of some of these altcoins. They're starting to turn around a little bit. Again, we're not trying to be moon boys. We do know that we got some areas of resistance for Total 3 and for others, which, you know, kind of govern our altcoin. I want to make sure we look at some of these ideas. This is Total 3. We're still coming up to an area of resistance there. There will still be some resistance in these altcoins, so don't think you're going to be missing out. You might miss out on a little bit of it, but you will if you're not in. But it's best to be a little conservative for the next pullback that we get to. Is all I'm trying to say. She has got. To me, it looks like we can get a little bounce up. We'll get a little pullback back, another higher high, a higher low, hopefully. So we got some zigzag. We got some give and take before we actually start getting our big move. But it looks like that over this next week, we might start seeing a few more signs coming here. So in my personal opinion, this is a good time to start DCAing. It's a good time to start slowly building some mid-term hold bags or some swing term bags. Things are starting to look a little bit nicer. Don't go overboard. Pace yourself is the message that I get. And know that we're going to rise up a little bit for a few days, and then we're going to start giving it back. I would wait till we give it back and then say, hey man, I want to sub. Guys, thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate the 22 people. Yeah, I've been going for 2 hours, almost an hour and 38 minutes, and that is long enough for the night. I appreciate you. I'll see you tomorrow night. Trade carefully. Let's see what they do. Tomorrow is Monday. It's fake out Monday and Tuesday. You can't really trust what's going on. But if they're bumping up and you got a chance to get paid, I would get paid a little. I'm just saying. Just saying. Good night, everybody. Thanks for hanging out.
I feel so unsure as I log in tonight. The charts start to sway. Green in my sight. I should have stayed grounded, not chase the high. Now my wallet's a ghost, and I'm asking why. Market moves call out my name, a leverage dance, a fleeting game. I traded hearts for one last play, now all I hold has slipped away. Tonight the coins fall so cold, a whispered crash I can't console. I'm never gonna trade again.
I have not yet found a good Yoda. I found something close.
Time can't rewind. The blocks are sealed in stone.
And the closest one I found.
Your trust was the
Am I on here? Can I do this? I'm not on here.
should have known.
The closest one I found is like a.
I chased the moon's promise.
For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button,
Hey Elvis.
I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much.
The closest one I found was like a Baby Yoda looking one with the Marx Brothers glasses on. Like, ta 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 ta. That's the closest I've actually found to it. The mustache moves though. That's cool. All right, back to the end screen. I guess we can skip this song. Alexa, skip. I kind of lost the music. Oh my God, we lost the music. Yeah, you push that up there, man. Joe says I hate editing. I do too. I started putting out some coin videos and I didn't edit them at all. And they got just as many views as when I edit them as when I don't. So I may be putting out some more coin videos here, not just on anything, just on things that I think are worthwhile. And if I see something going on there, you might see a little bit more coin videos from me. What coin videos are you talking about, Road Dog? I'm talking about these over here, darling. We got this one for FET, Fetch AI. One for BitTensor, one for OEM, and one for Onyx Coin.
A surgeon in shadow sharp as a blade. Whispers of ether and Bitcoin betray. But she's got your block chained to her sway. Dollar bills mean nothing to her.
Happy Easter, everybody. Happy Easter, guys.
Digital gold's the only allure. She's mining hearts as she mines the chain.
Bobby Benitez says, I'm an editor, it's tough. But man, man's got to do it. I know.
Explain. Crypto operator moving so sly. Riding the candles and kissing goodnight. She's got the wallets, your keys in her hand. Trading emotions you don't understand. Her profits climb where your logic fails. With no remorse, she rides volatile sails. In her ledger, you're a forgotten ache. Another pawn in her blockchain escape.
Beautiful solo. Ethereum bunny.
Her profits climb where your logic fails. With no remorse, she rides volatile sails. In her ledger, you're a forgotten ache.
How is Solana doing? Solana at 139. She hit our 141 target right up there. 236 Fibonacci. Will she come down? She's looking like she wants to stay up there a little while. I might see her come down to 125 again and retest that area. That would be cool. Maybe she'll do it. She may want to go up to 152 or 153 before she does that. That is our next target if she wants to go for a higher high. She might even work her way up to 170 if we get a bullish over these next few days. Gotta see what happens. I would be looking for a higher high, maybe 150, 152, and then a higher low. I just can't stop charting. I can't stop doing it. I'm addicted. Good night, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. We let the dog lead us out. Good night, John boy.
Good night.